Okay, okay, I'm going to turn it around. Look at that. Look at that. A little vertical picture of 1, 2 rows, 3, 4 rows. I've got about 6 rows of paintings that I've done since it snowed last February. And they're not hyper big. They're like, the very biggest one is probably 3 feet across. And they're all on lath because that's my favorite material, which is like sticks that are 1 inch wide and about 4 feet long, and you can cut them up. And these are what I'm doing, and I don't know how to talk about them to you. Most of you that are friends of mine have seen other things that I've made out of lath, but these are much more rectangular than some. They're not sculptural. Here's some more up here above the window. Now I've gotten, oh, there we are. Yeah. Okay. So I haven't shown these anywhere, and I don't have a plan to, but I'm very interested in them, and I continue to make more and more of them. However, and I would love you to talk to me about them, but before anybody talks to me about anything, I'm going to take you on a walk past my ladder, through this door. How are we doing? You okay? Okay, nobody can. Okay, we're going through another door, and this is my workroom. I'm going to turn the light on, and this is the best workroom in the universe because it's big. So, okay, so this is my workroom. I'm very pleased with it. I've had it for a long time. So anyway, I'm doing a project with John Corzine, which for the windows, the storefront windows project that we're doing downtown, and that has been going for a year. And this one will happen in 5 windows in the corner of the old Schoenfels furniture store, which are now kind of black. And there have been displays in them, and they've been really fun. And this one is going to be better because I'm so cool. And so I'm going to walk you around and show you some sketches of what I want it to look like. So there's a little one on top and a big one on the bottom, and they're like black windows. They'll have black background, and then they'll have a lot of fish floating from strings hanging in front of the black background. And so how to do that? Well, I'm making them out of cardboard, and I'm reinforcing the backs of them with very thin strips of lath, my favorite material in the world. And let's see. So here's a little, there's little just red chips to indicate fish, except here is a very beautiful fish. And up here are copies of actual fish that I looked up in a book. So here is this fish is probably 2 inches from nose to tail. But then I made a big one of it, which is this, which is about 3 feet. So, and then here's another fish that I actually copied from. It's about 3 feet from maybe 3.5 from nose to tail. So then there's a whole little tiny fish. And then there's some medium-sized fish, fucking fish. And then, and some of them are, I think, really, really pretty. Like, hi, Lynette, like this one. See that? Don't you think that's really pretty? Okay. And then some are kind of plain like that one, and some are kind of plain like that one. But here's the deal. I thought that compositionally it would be better if something were a different size. And so here's this one, which, can you see the paint cans? You see, for scale? Okay. So yeah. This one I just did last night, and I really, really like it because it's so aggressive. And look at how nicely this is painted, Lynette. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it nice? Okay. So I'm having a very thrilling time doing these fish because they're nothing like what I really do. And that, I think, is a very, very good thing for an artist, to do something that she, because we're not talking about men here, to do something that she or we don't think about. And all of a sudden, there's all these kinds of like ways of painting that I never think about. Like, see this? I don't paint like that. That's painting. What I usually do is much more like just putting color on top of wood and calling it good. But this is like making something, what? It's making paint do something that you can't do any other way. It's like all the colors can blend into each other, or they can be very distinct, like on this nice lizard, or a newt. I think that's a newt. Whoops, where's my finger? So sometimes they're very flat and sometimes they're kind of modeled, like my little darling favorite one that sort of turns the corner from yellow to pink. So I'm remembering painting, and I did have Jenny Lauer come over a few weeks ago to show me how to paint, because she's a master, and she showed me how to model using color, which I used to know how to do when I was a young painter and had forgotten all about, and it was so thrilling. But I really still love these little guys that are essentially colored drawings that are really flat. So, and then, yeah. But then sometimes they're really paintings. Like, see? See how that's like painted as opposed to drawn? So that's what I'm doing. I don't know what else to talk about. Does anybody want to talk to me?
Would you be down for some questions if anyone has them?
Hey, I was just,
that's great.
I missed the beginning where you said what you were doing with all those amazing fish. Could you just recap that real quick?
Yeah, the Olympia Art Space Alliance is has been putting together for the last year or two a project where artists get a little honorarium, which is always welcome, to do something in windows of storefronts that where the business is no longer operating, and it keeps downtown from looking abandoned. And so this is one, and it's going to be at the corner of 4th and Capitol, and there will be other things. This is a lot of window, and so there will be, I think, 2 artists, or 3 maybe, one on one side of me and 2 on another, I'm not sure. And John Corzine, the rigger of the world, is going to hang these things so that they'll float against a black background. And I think I've made enough of them, but I have to compose this thing that's going to sort of swim. So that comes next.
Very cool. Thank you. And I also just wanted to say I love what you said about artists trying something new and getting out of the box, because that always just makes things so much more interesting.
Well, I'll be interested to see whether when I go back to what I always do, which is paint things on 1 inch by 4 foot sticks, it'll interest me to see if they change, because this has been so seductive. It's really been seductive to do these bright colors and to really copy stuff that I find on the internet. And because I made up some of these fish, but some of them are from photographs, and that's a whole other way of looking at the world for me, and I like it a lot.
It's Stephanie here. I don't think that's, you've talked about copying out of, off the internet or books. I think that's perfectly valid. I had an opportunity to watch Chris Maynard do his work, and I think those silhouettes of those birds are also off the internet. So
Wherever.
I mean,
sure.
He didn't, he didn't
this stuff
render
is
it himself.
copyrighted.
Yeah, and you're just taking the shape. I think it's valid.
No, I don't have any anxiety about copyright. I'm not worried about it at all. but the thing that's new for me though is to make pictures, because I haven't been making pictures. Wait a minute, let me bring you back here. This is my quote real work, right? Oh wait, there's a mountain. I was wrong. There's a mountain and some clouds. Oh my God, it's total realism. But mostly it's not. Mostly it's more like composition and stuff. Oh no, another mountain. So so doing the fish is much more like representational. I mean, I think these are representational, but they're a little bit obscure. Wait, now I'm going to go back to, there you are. Did you see what I'm saying, Steph? Okay. Yeah, okay. But so for me, it's not a stretch, but it's a sidestep, and it's a pleasure.
You are A-tops in my book.
Me too, you, Steph.
Susan, the fish are extraordinary.
What, sweetie?
The fish are extraordinary.
Oh, thank you very much.
They are, as you said, paintings, and they are alive. They're wriggling. I can't wait to see them in their home.
We're going to hang them from strings so that they won't stay still. They will wiggle. I think that's the idea.
But they're wriggling anyway because of the excellent way that you've twisted and turned and colored them. They're wriggling on your wall right now. Thank you for showing them.
Thanks, Marilyn. That's great. I am having a good time. And so, yeah, I can't wait to get them up in the window so that we can see if it's working,
Susan, I think your fish are looking remarkable. I could see you painting a lot more. Hate to tell you.
Yeah.
Who is this Lucy?
It's Lucy. I'm being
Lucy?
the great lady.
Don't be a troublemaker.
I know. Well, I always am.
Yeah, you are. You're bad.
Susan, this is Lois, and I love it when you say you're having fun. That's why we do what we do.
Yeah, I never knew that before. No, I did. No, I know. It's great.
I love it. Your fish are beautiful.
To chat, but we were thinking we'd wrap up around now. Any last questions for Susan?
I have a couple of observations.
Sure.
Let's have them.
So the fish, I like the fact that the fish are both three-dimensional and flat, because when you see fish in the water, some of them are better lit than others. And I think it does a really good job of representing that. I also I also agree with Marilyn. They have their own personalities, and that's delightful.
Yes.
And I love the compositions that you've put in. The flow goes really well. And I also think it's really important to have art downtown at the moment, because we can't go into galleries anymore. So I think it's a really, really wonderful addition to our downtown environment, because we can all pretty safely go and see them.
Right.
So who are we thanking for that? Let's remember who to thank.
No, baby. Lucy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, it's the Art Space Alliance. It's not just
Lucy.
It's a group of hardworking volunteers.
It's Lucy and her gang.
Yeah. And I have another observation about your you always call them your stick paintings, but to me they're much more fundamental than that. They're made of building materials, and they obviously speak to things that you're concerned with, and I'm just wondering if when you speak about them, that's kind of an important part of the appreciation for me, is the fact that they're on these building materials that everyone needs. They're kind of part of a housing structure.
Yeah.
So I appreciate them because of that. That's one of the things I love about your lath paintings. Is the fact that it's on construction material, and
Yeah, it's not art.
it,
Oh, yeah, it is.
it's part of the art. So those were my observations from your two bodies of work that you have going at the moment.
Thank you, Sugar.
I just want to say something to Susan in addition. This is Sally Clowns you're talking.
Hi,
I
Sal.
mean, Susan, as always, not only your brilliance and your talent, but you're so intrepid. You know, you just began this whole thing, and you know, I just really admire that you dove into here without even the speaker on. So, I mean, I just think you're just the best, and such a model to everyone in this community. And I want to congratulate you on a really delightful half hour and looking at this work that really is tremendous.
Thank you, Susan, for being the guinea pig and jumping in and doing this. And it was wonderful to see all of your work, the fish and your new paintings.
Thank you for
Yes.
that, Gabby. No,
Tools.
can I just say thank you, Nicole, because this has not been easy for either of us, and you are a wonderful coach, and I look forward to so many more of these
Yes.
with a lot less stumbling.
I mean, we had to try it, and I think we'll continue to stumble. We all have to learn this new way to communicate. And I just want to thank Susan for kicking everything off and sharing her home with us in the studio.
Well, I'm watching.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Both so much.